There's a power in silence that most people never understand. We live in a world where everyone wants to share their opinion, explain their story, justify themselves, or broadcast every thought. But here's the truth. Not everyone needs to know what you're doing, thinking, or feeling. The more you stay silent, the more control you gain over your energy, your growth, and your life. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It's essential. When you spend time trying to impress others, explain your every move, or convince people of your worth, you give away the most valuable thing you have, your energy. Your attention is limited, and when you scatter it across gossip, drama, or other people's judgments, you weaken your ability to grow, to achieve, and to become the person you're meant to be. Silence is your superpower. Staying quiet doesn't mean you're weak or passive. It means you are strong enough to resist the urge to seek validation from others. It means you are confident enough to let your actions speak louder than your words. Every time you feel the need to explain yourself or justify your path, pause. Ask yourself, does this truly serve me, or am I giving away my energy to people who will never understand it? When you focus on yourself, you start investing in what truly matters. You spend more time improving your skills, building your mindset, and growing emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You stop worrying about what people think, what they say, or how they judge you. And the more you grow in silence, the louder your success becomes. People notice results more than explanations. Actions always speak louder than words. Staying silent also protects you from unnecessary conflict, drama, and distractions. When you reveal everything, you give people the chance to comment, criticize, or manipulate. But when you keep your journey private, you maintain control. You are not trapped by others' opinions or expectations. Your focus becomes sharper, your energy cleaner, and your results stronger. Mel Robbins emphasizes the power of personal responsibility. You cannot control what others think, say, or do, but you can control yourself. You can control your habits, your mindset, your decisions, and your actions. Focusing on yourself and staying silent is not hiding. It's mastering yourself. It's building a foundation so solid that no one else's noise can shake you. Remember, the quieter you are, the more people underestimate you, and that's your advantage. While they are busy trying to provoke reactions or compare themselves, you are building, learning, and growing. You are moving faster, thinking clearer, and creating opportunities that words alone could never bring. So stop explaining, stop justifying, stop seeking approval. Focus on your growth. Stay silent. Let your success, your confidence, and your personal transformation speak for you. Silence is not emptiness, it's strength. Focus is not selfish. It's your key to becoming unstoppable. You have one life, one energy, and one focus. Guard it fiercely, protect it intentionally, grow quietly, and watch as the world catches up to the person you've been silently building. When you constantly share every detail of your life, you give away more than just information. You give away your energy, your focus, and your sense of control. Energy is finite. Every conversation, every explanation, every attempt to justify yourself to someone else consumes mental and emotional resources that could otherwise be invested in your growth, your goals, or your peace of mind. When you stay silent, you create a protective barrier around this energy, allowing it to accumulate and be used where it truly matters. Silence is not emptiness or avoidance. It is an intentional strategy to conserve your power and maintain clarity in a world filled with distractions. Sharing too much often invites unnecessary interference. People may respond with judgment, unsolicited advice, or even criticism, which can derail your focus. Some individuals may not have your best interests at heart and can exploit the information you give freely, intentionally or not. The more you overshare, the more opportunities there are for external influences to affect your mindset or sway your decisions. By choosing silence, you maintain autonomy over your life. You are no longer reacting to others' perceptions or trying to manage their expectations. Instead, you are controlling your energy and using it to fuel your own progress. Silence also allows you to filter interactions more effectively. When you withhold unnecessary details, you signal to others that your time and attention are valuable. People begin to understand that engaging with you requires respect and consideration, rather than assuming constant availability. This doesn't mean cutting people off or becoming cold. It means communicating through action rather than explanation. When your focus is protected, your interactions become intentional rather than reactive, and the relationships you maintain are healthier, more balanced, and mutually respectful. In addition, silence enhances your ability to reflect and gain clarity. Constantly talking about your thoughts, plans, or struggles often scatters your focus and prevents you from truly understanding your own motivations and desires. When you allow yourself to be quiet, you create mental space to analyze situations, make better decisions, and plan your next steps without distraction. Silence is a tool for sharpening your mind, cultivating patience, and fostering self-awareness. It helps you discern which voices are worth listening to and which are only adding noise. Staying silent teaches discipline. In a culture that prizes constant communication, being able to withhold information is a form of mastery over your impulses. It requires self-control, awareness, and confidence. Every time you resist the urge to overshare, you reinforce the habit of prioritizing your own growth and energy over external validation. This discipline becomes a cornerstone for achieving long-term goals, protecting your mental health, and maintaining emotional resilience. By protecting your energy through silence, you are not hiding from the world. You are preparing yourself to engage with it more powerfully. You are choosing where your focus goes, how your energy is spent, and what relationships and interactions are truly meaningful. The discipline to stay quiet is an investment in yourself, allowing you to grow stronger, wiser, and more intentional in every area of your life. Focusing on yourself is often misunderstood as selfishness, but it is actually one of the most important investments you can make. When you prioritize your growth, your habits, and your mindset, you are laying the foundation for a life that is meaningful, intentional, and aligned with your true goals. Many people spend their time trying to impress others, seeking approval, or reacting to everyone else's expectations. This not only drains energy but also prevents real progress. By turning your attention inward, you reclaim control over your life and direct your efforts toward what truly matters. Investing in yourself requires awareness and consistency. It is not just about occasional moments of self-reflection or a few hours of study or practice. It is about making a daily commitment to improve, grow, and evolve. When you focus on yourself, you pay attention to your mental and emotional health, your physical well-being, and your skills or talents. You begin to identify patterns that hinder your progress and replace them with habits that support growth. This inward focus allows you to become the best version of yourself, which ultimately benefits every aspect of your life, from relationships to career to personal fulfillment. Focusing on yourself also means setting priorities that align with your goals. Time is limited, and attention is a resource that can never be recovered once spent. When you give too much of yourself to distractions, drama, or other people's agendas, you dilute your ability to achieve meaningful results. By concentrating on your own development, you ensure that your energy is used intentionally and efficiently. This does not mean ignoring others completely. It means interacting with the world from a place of strength, not depletion. Focusing on yourself is learning to be comfortable with solitude. Growth often happens in quiet, uninterrupted moments where you can reflect, plan, and act without external influence. Being alone does not mean being lonely. It means giving yourself the space to understand your desires, your strengths, and your limitations. It allows you to make decisions based on clarity rather than reaction. People who are constantly seeking external validation or trying to please everyone rarely reach this level of self-awareness because they are too busy being influenced by others. Focusing on yourself also strengthens your boundaries. When you prioritize your growth and well-being, you naturally begin to protect your time, energy, and emotional space. You learn to say no to distractions, to unnecessary commitments, and to people who do not support your progress. This is not selfishness. It is an act of self-respect and a strategy for achieving long-term success. By dedicating yourself to personal development, you ensure that your actions, decisions, and energy are aligned with your values and goals. Focusing on yourself is about becoming the architect of your own life. It is about taking responsibility for your growth, making intentional choices, and creating a life where your energy is invested in what truly matters. By prioritizing yourself, you build the strength, clarity, and resilience to handle challenges, pursue opportunities, and achieve success in a way that is authentic and lasting. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your plans, or your personal space. Understanding this is a key part of focusing on yourself and staying silent. Many people feel the need to share everything about their lives, thinking it builds trust, connection, or approval. But the reality is that oversharing often attracts the wrong kind of attention. Some people may exploit your openness, criticize unnecessarily, or judge you harshly. By being selective about what you reveal and to whom, you protect your energy and maintain control over your growth. Silence allows you to filter your relationships and interactions, ensuring that your time and attention are spent on people who genuinely matter. Oversharing can also dilute your impact. When everyone knows everything about your journey, your achievements, and your challenges, it becomes harder for your actions to stand out. People may take your efforts for granted or worse, underestimate your capabilities. When you stay silent, you create a sense of mystery and authority around your growth. Your progress becomes noticeable not because you announce it, but because results speak for themselves. By focusing on your own path quietly, you allow your accomplishments to make a far stronger impression than words ever could. Being selective in what you share also teaches you self-discipline. It requires awareness to determine which people, situations, or conversations are worth your energy and which are not. Not everyone deserves to know your plans, your struggles, or your victories. Some individuals may inadvertently or intentionally add negativity, distraction, or judgment into your life. By choosing silence, you reduce these external pressures and create a mental environment conducive to focus and growth. This is especially important in a world that constantly demands attention and commentary. The ability to remain quiet is a form of strength and control. Silence also protects your emotional state. Sharing too much with the wrong people can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, or emotional exhaustion. People may misinterpret your intentions, manipulate your words, or respond with criticism that you don't need. By staying quiet, you prevent unnecessary emotional stress and maintain clarity. You preserve your mental space for reflection, learning, and strategy rather than reacting to others' reactions or judgments. Being selective with your openness allows you to create authentic connections. People who truly care about your growth, respect your boundaries, and align with your values will naturally be drawn to your energy. They will appreciate your presence, your wisdom, and your accomplishments without needing constant explanation or validation. By staying silent and focusing inward, you cultivate a life where your relationships, actions, and energy are meaningful, intentional, and aligned with your true goals. Understanding that not everyone deserves access to your life is a cornerstone of self-mastery. Silence is not avoidance. It is a strategic choice that protects your energy, strengthens your focus, and amplifies your impact. By being intentional about what you share, you ensure that your growth and achievements remain powerful, respected, and undistracted by unnecessary noise. Silence is not just about withholding words, it is about creating a space where your focus and energy are fully yours. When you speak less, you prevent unnecessary conflict and reduce the risk of being drawn into situations that drain your mental and emotional resources. Oversharing often opens the door to judgment, criticism, and unsolicited opinions, even from well-meaning people. By staying quiet, you maintain control over your environment and interactions, allowing yourself to operate without external interference. Silence acts as a protective barrier, keeping distractions, negativity, and conflict at bay, and allowing you to direct your attention where it truly matters. When you constantly explain yourself, you give other people power over your perception and your decisions. They begin to form opinions, create expectations, or offer unsolicited guidance, all of which can pull you away from your own goals. By staying silent, you limit the opportunities for these external pressures to influence you. You create a space where your choices are informed by your own clarity, not by someone else's judgments. This practice helps you remain grounded and focused, allowing your actions to reflect your true priorities rather than the expectations or opinions of others. Silence also cultivates self-discipline and patience. In a culture that celebrates constant communication, choosing to speak less is an intentional act of self-control. It requires awareness of when sharing serves a purpose and when it only adds noise. Every time you resist the urge to explain, justify, or comment, you reinforce your ability to prioritize your own growth and maintain your energy. This discipline strengthens your mental resilience and helps you navigate challenges with a calm, focused mindset. Important aspect of staying silent is that it allows for better listening and observation. When you are not busy sharing your thoughts or defending your choices, you can fully absorb information, analyze situations, and understand the motivations of others. This deeper awareness enhances your decision making and gives you an advantage that those who constantly speak often lack. Observing silently allows you to act strategically rather than react impulsively, positioning yourself for more effective outcomes in every area of life. Silence fosters respect in your interactions. People tend to value what they cannot easily access or take for granted. By being selective about when and how you communicate, you set a standard for how others engage with you. They learn that your time, energy, and words are valuable, which encourages more meaningful and intentional interactions. This doesn't mean becoming cold or unapproachable. It means asserting control over your attention and protecting your mental space. Choosing silence is a powerful tool for managing your environment, maintaining clarity, and safeguarding your energy. It allows you to navigate life with intention, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and focus on the things that truly matter. When practiced consistently, silence strengthens your self-discipline, enhances your awareness, and creates the mental space needed for personal growth and success. By speaking less and observing more, you ensure that your energy is preserved, your focus remains sharp, and your life moves in the direction of your highest priorities. Personal growth requires focus, discipline, and consistent effort, and it is impossible to achieve when your attention is constantly scattered by external demands or distractions. Many people spend their lives reacting to others' expectations, opinions, and judgments, which consumes energy that could be directed towards self-improvement. By focusing on yourself, you reclaim control over your time, your decisions, and your progress. This inward focus allows you to develop the habits, mindset, and skills necessary for long-term success, rather than being pulled off course by every passing opinion or societal pressure. Focusing on yourself means prioritizing activities that contribute to your growth. This includes cultivating mental clarity, emotional resilience, physical health, and intellectual skills. Each of these areas requires dedicated attention, and when you spread yourself too thin by constantly engaging with external noise or attempting to please everyone, your growth is slowed. By concentrating on your own development, you ensure that your energy is invested in meaningful pursuits rather than wasted on things that do not serve your long-term vision. Discipline is a key component of personal growth. It takes self-control to resist the urge to explain, justify, or respond to every situation or criticism. When you focus on yourself, you learn to prioritize your own goals over immediate gratification or the desire to appease others. This kind of discipline strengthens your ability to stay on course, even in the face of distractions or challenges. It allows you to build habits that support progress, rather than habits that keep you tied to the expectations and reactions of others. Focusing inward also encourages self-awareness. When you spend less time worrying about others' opinions, you create space to observe your own behaviors, patterns, and motivations. This reflection is crucial for identifying what truly matters to you and for making decisions that align with your values and goals. It allows you to understand your strengths and weaknesses, recognize opportunities for improvement, and develop a clearer vision for the life you want to create. Benefit of focusing on yourself is the development of resilience. Life inevitably presents challenges and setbacks, and the ability to stay grounded in your priorities and values is essential. When your focus is on yourself, you are less susceptible to being derailed by external negativity or drama. You cultivate a mindset that emphasizes solutions and growth rather than distraction and complaint. This resilience allows you to move forward consistently, even when circumstances are difficult or unpredictable. Personal growth is about becoming the best version of yourself, and that requires intentional focus, effort, and discipline. By concentrating on your own development rather than seeking validation or approval from others, you build a life that is authentic, empowered, and aligned with your true goals. Focusing on yourself ensures that your energy is spent on meaningful progress, your habits reinforce your vision, and your decisions reflect your priorities. This inward focus is the foundation for success, fulfillment, and the ability to navigate life with clarity and purpose. True growth and lasting success require a balance between action and reflection, and one of the most powerful tools for achieving that balance is silence. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you create the mental and emotional space needed to process your experiences, make thoughtful decisions, and act with intention. Silence allows you to step back from the constant noise of the world, opinions, judgments, advice, and distractions, and tune into what truly matters for your personal development. It is in this quiet space that clarity emerges, where you can assess your goals, identify obstacles, and design the strategies needed to move forward effectively. Silence is also essential for protecting your energy. Every interaction, every conversation, and every attempt to explain yourself consumes resources that could be better invested in your growth. By withholding unnecessary explanations or defending your choices to those who do not support or understand you, you preserve mental and emotional energy. This energy then becomes available for productive work, reflection, and skill building, which accelerates progress in ways that constant talking or oversharing never could. The act of staying quiet is not passivity. It is an intentional strategy to focus on what is within your control and ignore what is not. Focusing on yourself while remaining silent also strengthens self-discipline. In a world that constantly encourages communication, validation, seeking, and overexposure, choosing silence requires conscious effort and restraint. It demands that you resist the urge to react impulsively, defend yourself unnecessarily, or seek approval. This discipline builds mental resilience, allowing you to remain grounded under pressure, maintain clarity when faced with challenges, and make decisions from a place of strength rather than emotion. Over time, this habit of measured silence becomes a foundation for consistent personal growth and strategic action. Critical aspect of this practice is that it enhances the impact of your actions. When you do not feel the need to announce every move or justify every decision, your results become the most powerful statement. People notice progress, skill, and accomplishment far more than words ever could. Staying silent allows your work to speak for itself, establishing credibility and authority without relying on explanation or validation. Your focus on self-improvement naturally elevates your presence and influence. demonstrating that your attention is dedicated to meaningful results rather than superficial recognition. Silence creates space for deeper self-awareness and reflection. By turning inward, you can observe your own patterns, motivations, and behaviors without the interference of external noise. This introspection enables you to make intentional adjustments, cultivate positive habits, and align your actions with your long-term vision. It allows you to recognize what energizes you, what distracts you, and what relationships or influences are truly worth your attention. Staying silent while focusing on yourself is not about withdrawal, it is about intentionality. It is a method for protecting your energy, enhancing your discipline, and maximizing the impact of your actions. By embracing this practice, you create the conditions for sustained growth, meaningful achievement, and a life driven by clarity, focus, and purpose. Silence becomes the tool that amplifies your power, ensuring that every effort you make is strategic, deliberate, and aligned with your highest potential. Remember this, silence is not emptiness, it is strength. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is essential. The moment you stop over-explaining, stop seeking approval, and stop reacting to everyone else's expectations, you reclaim your energy, your clarity, and your power. Your growth, your habits, and your actions are your most valuable assets, and protecting them is the key to success. By staying silent, you let your results speak louder than words ever could. You build discipline, resilience, and self-awareness while avoiding unnecessary conflict, distraction, and energy drain. Every moment you spend in quiet focus brings you closer to the life you truly want, the version of yourself that operates at full potential. So stop seeking validation, stop justifying yourself, turn your attention inward, protect your energy, grow quietly, and watch as your life transforms, not because of what you say, but because of what you do. Your silence is your power, your focus is your freedom. Guard them fiercely and let your transformation speak for itself.